I commend you for owning a multifamily that you live in as well. That's one of the keys to wealth. That's how I got started. What is happening, YouTube? This is Matt Faircloth, and this is our YouTube series called Mentorship Monday. The way this works is you guys email questions to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. That is helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. And me or one of my team members will answer your question right here on the YouTube channel for you and everyone else to learn from. So send it over to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com and we'll get your questions answered here. Alex is my question asker today. Thank you, Alex, for your question. I have a question for you. I've set up an LLC from a multifamily home. So Alex has a multifamily property and he says home. So I'm assuming, Alex, you live there, which is an interesting facet. You're probably doing a house hack. High five. Congratulations on that. But didn't buy the home through the LLC. Does it make sense to assign tenants to the LLC, another company manage the property, which is my personal name? So Alex owns a property in his own personal name. My guess is that it's a small multifamily, 4 units or less. So probably got no or low money down financing, right? So that's all good. But the problem is you get that low interest financing, low money down financing, 30-year fixed. Great options through first time home buyer or FHA programs, whatever it is. But you also are a landlord, so you want to protect yourself against tenant issues, slip and falls, tenant complaints, liability claims that may show up to landlords. Landlords are a heavily sued entity, whether we deserve it or not. Most of them don't deserve it, but they get it anyway, right? So I get it. You want to have an LLC protect yourself. It's hard to do that if you own the property in your own name. So Alex's idea, which we're going to discuss today, is to have a LLC's over here, primary residence that he lives in, that is a multifamily, is over here, to have this LLC manage the property. That's a good idea. He's got to defer some liability over to the LLC. I'm not a lawyer, and you should talk to one, Alex. So have a lawyer give you some, advice here, because I'm not one. In essence, what you're doing is you're the owner of the home, the lessor, the property management company, the person that is the assigner of the lease. You're allowed to do this since you're the owner of the LLC as well. So you don't need a broker's license or whatever for this, because you're the owner of the property and also the owner of the LLC. So you're allowed to engage a company that you own and control on something that you own, right? So this doesn't trigger a broker's license or property management clause. Feel free to argue with me on that one in the comment section, but I don't believe that's the case. So you go to the LLC, be the property manager and the executor of the lease with those tenants. So ABC LLC is the landlord, is the lessor. If you can get away with it, you don't even mention your own personal name in the management document in the property management agreement. You have to sign it. I've had people tell tenants, I'm not the owner. I just work for the property when they live there, because they don't want the, oh, I'll have to ask the owner, or I'll have to talk to the owner or whatever. You could, do that dance if you want with tenants, because it just kind of defers that point of real decision making away, and so you can make a decision not in front of the tenant, and they know that they don't feel like you're the one that's really holding the purse strings. You feel like you're just a lowly property manager working for the PM company, just trying to get by just like they are, and you can commiserate with them a little bit. So people will tell tenants, yeah, listen, I just live here, I work for the PM company. Your choice on that one, not recommending that or not. There's good and bad, because tenants can certainly look under public record and see your own personal name sitting there on the deed of the property, so they can see through that pretty quickly if they wanted to. But if that's a game you want to play, no problem. Getting back to the LLC thing, you can write up a management agreement with you personally that says, hi, I'm Alex, and I'm going to sign this property management contract with ABC LLC. And ABC LLC is liable, and it assumes all liability. And if there's a slip and fall, ABC LLC holds liability for the property, and ABC LLC is responsible for all fiduciary responsibilities and keeping the property up and maintaining it. So you can defer responsibility to ABC LLC through a management contract that gives that away to ABC LLC. Then ABC LLC then conveys that to the tenants and says, hey, I'm your lessor. I'm responsible for these things. If the tenant has any issues or complaints, they can call ABC LLC, right? So you're deferring everything to the LLC. So you would do it as I just said. Now I'll give you a reality check. It's a good idea, but the reality check is that if there really is a slip and fall, if there really is an issue, the tenant or whoever has that issue is going to hire a lawyer, and that lawyer is going to very easy in public records see that you're the owner of the property and that you're holding the real asset, which is the real estate, and they're going to try and attach to you as well, because you've got the real collateral that has real value that can compensate against slip and falls or can compensate them for real claims that they may have, right? At the end of the day, you can do this LLC dance. Good idea. maybe would give you that firewall a bit, but you also want to get yourself a real good general liability insurance policy, at least $1 million in limit, and a general liability policy on the property. You want to get yourself fire insurance, of course. Make sure there's not too many exclusions, meaning like things they won't cover you for on the insurance. And if you really want to get crazy, this is going to cost you much more, Alex. Just put a umbrella insurance policy over the whole thing, which covers pretty much anything that the primary insurance doesn't cover for. And if things blow up real big, the umbrella over here goes over all of it. Talk to an insurance agent about that too. Insurance really is what's going to help you against major liability claims. The LLC may protect you a bit and allows you to sit behind the company too. So that's probably the double pronged attack for liability issues. Great question, Alex. I commend you for owning a multifamily that you live in as well. That's one of the keys to wealth. That's how I got started. And my company owns apartment buildings now, but I got started by buying a rental property that I lived in and renting out a couple of bedrooms to a couple of friends of mine. So I commend you, Alex, for taking that same path. Remember, real estate questions, help me at DeRosaGroup.com. Help me at DeRosaGroup.com, and I'll answer those questions right here on the YouTube channel for you and everyone else to learn from. Thank you, Alex. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great and profitable week.